Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Misscliks D&D Seaborn. When the dust settles, you find there are 5 conscious living prisoners, maybe 15 that you could maybe patch up and possibly save. If you used magic, you could definitely save them. The rest are dead.
What about the unconscious one? I knocked one unconscious that should be savable.
Yes, he is one of the savable, one of the 5 that is alive.
Okay.
Where's my notebook? And your town has lost 5 people. They are gone.
Can't we patch them up or heal them?
No, the damage was rolled pretty high.
Okay.
They're
I
gone.
asked Bruno to say something, like some kind words about our fallen. To the
I interject and say I feel that as a man of God, we should ask Algrind to do that.
Ooh.
That makes sense to me. What I can say, though, is we sure beat those guys.
Yeah.
We should loot their armor for our own.
Did they escape with any ships, or are they...
1 ship escaped, and 3 are on fire.
How about we try
including the people that are on them. Their screams faded away a little while ago. The 2 ships that are left pulled up onto the sand still have people in the ships. They look like they are slave rowers.
Oh, how about we try to extinguish the flames and get those people for ourselves?
People are dead.
Oh, well, how about we extinguish the flames and maybe keep those ships for our own?
We should salvage what we can.
How do you put out a flaming ship? Without a fire hose. Or a hose of any kind.
Water. I guess doing a line of water throwing through barrels and shit. Containers of water.
Alright, you get some people to try and bucket brigade.
Let's just get one ship who looks less than fire salvaged if we can.
Okay. Would you give me a D20? Would you give me a D20, Jen? No.
Ah! My free ship!
Nope, the ships all burn.
Damn it.
You do get 2 ships, each of which there are smaller than the ship that you have right now. They're like half-sized versions of your ship. And each of them comes with 20 rowers.
They're alive.
They are alive and they are chained to their seats.
Nice. Okay, should we keep... Okay, I asked to our little war council here. Guys, do you think we should just feed those rowers to the dragon, since we're not looting a lot of people lately?
Or we keep the slaves for ourselves.
Yeah. I guess let's just feed the people we just got to the dragon.
Yes.
And give him some gold, since we haven't been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And let's make sure we salvage as much leather suits as possible for our city, right? And armors.
Okay. I'm going to ask one of you to keep track of the arms and equipment you have for your people.
Okay, I'll note it.
I vote for Jen.
You have 25. No, I'm sorry. You have some of those guys got away. You have 30 suits of leather armor, and you have 28 shields.
Nice.
You also have, what is that? 15 broadswords and 15 battle axes.
And with that, I declare our town is now armed properly. We shall be even better pirates. Hooray!
Yay!
Okay.
I'm organizing the prisoners that we have and getting them ready to immediately take to the dragon, to Brimstone. And I'm very excited. I'm visibly excited to be and I'm kind of like a little stressed out too, like uncharacteristically, and I'm kind of muttering like to any of the party members I talk to. I'm like, it's been a long time since we saw Brimstone the Fire Incarnate. I wonder if Brimstone the Fire Incarnate will be displeased that it's been so long. Perhaps we should bring some extra kobolds. I'm just kind of like muttering around.
The kobolds are kind of walking around the town, looking in buildings and just, exploring it like it's an abandoned village and just, ooh, what's in here? And like open up barrels and poking their heads in and climbing on top of buildings, and they're like ants. They're everywhere.
Okay. So I suggest that we bring the raider prisoners as well as just bring Gloppy. Not saying what we're gonna do with him. And
Oh, I love it when Gloppy comes with us.
yeah, let's bring your friend Gloppy, our raid prisoners, as well as our other raid prisoners that we had, like the 3 dudes.
Okay. You get some villagers to help you march these folks towards Brimstone, the Fire Incarnate's dwelling.
Woohoo! I look super excited about those. All right, so it's about a half-day journey to Brimstone's place. And we can just fast forward until we arrive, unless there's anything you guys would like to do.
Do I stay charmed that whole time?
You do contain... Yes.
Just checking.
So as we walk, I let Maribel lead the way, and I'm like, so Bruno, how about we let her go talk to Brimstone, and then at the end we just throw in a little Gloppy.
I will ask in general. I don't actually have any. Let's see. I have not learned any like enchantment type spells. Do you know of them, Albert?
No.
Okay. But you did detect magic. Does that show like she's been enchanted?
Yeah, she's been enchanted magically.
I'm going to spend a lot of time on the way over talking to Maribel and making sure she realizes that I will try to convince her that Gloppy is our enemy and that she has been enchanted.
How would you please roleplay this encounter? Because this sounds like fun.
Can you explain to me what I like when I'm charmed? Is it like, can I just not be convinced, or?
Well, you regard him as a friend. You have. It would be the same thing as if Trump was trying to tell you that I had enspelled you and you were magically my friend somehow. And Trump's like, no. Neil's an asshole. There's no reason why you'd ever like Neil. Look at him. Look at the way he plays D&D. It's all about murder and mayhem. Yada, yada, yada. And you're like, come on, Neil's a nice guy.
Sense. No, I'm just
What? No, it's not what you're supposed to say.
Maribel, what's gotten over you? Don't you remember you were about to fight one-on-one with Gloppy?
I do remember, but I don't remember why. He's an old friend of ours. He's always done so right by us.
No, he hasn't. He cast a spell on you during the battle. And that spell has muddled your mind.
I don't remember him casting a spell, and if he had, I'm sure it would just have been in good fun.
I mean, don't you trust me and don't you trust Albert? Albert cast Detect Magic on you and found out that it was Gloppy who cast a charm on you. Doesn't that make sense? Which kind of kobolds are our friends anyways?
Dogface is our friend.
Dogface is our friend, but Gloppy is not. Remember, you were the one who told Dogface to hunt down Gloppy so we could kill him, so Dogface could be the leader. Don't you remember?
I do. It's all so confusing. But he's so cute.
Don't you remember? He insulted you. He wanted to ride on you. Is that what friends do?
No, they do not. Bruno, you are wise. And I shall trust you. But I cannot compel myself to raise a hand against my friend, Gloppy.
That's
I
fine.
will-
We will take care of him for you. And then you will find that his hold over you will disappear.
I will pay close attention to my feelings.
Okay. You guys come to the entrance of Brimstone's cave. It is an opening in the earth, in the mountain. Kind of a long lava tube-like entrance. There's not really much else to describe about it. Just a nice 10-foot high, 10-foot wide. It's kind of been flattened, so maybe it's only like 8 feet tall, 10 feet wide, with a nice flat bit on the bottom. Cave.
I'm like visibly, I'm like kind of like chomping,
Okay.
eating.
So
and I'm,
before
like,
we
really
go in, how about we
excited, and I'm,
establish
like,
a
checking
plan?
my armor and making
Sorry.
sure that everything's perfect.
How about we establish a plan? We will feed the dragon with the raider prisoners. How many are there near?
5.
And
Plus
they're
3.
walking, like we're forcing them to walk, is that right?
Yes, you have tied them up and are poking them with sticks if they don't walk.
Mm.
So we have 8 total.
Hmm.
Okay. Plus. What else do we have to offer? Gloppy.
Mhm.
Plus, how much gold did we have?
Plus
No,
the 102 gold.
plus 102 gold. So let's make sure that this is all prepackaged for our dear dragon.
We'll want to make sure to set the gold. Actually, what we could do. We didn't find only gold, did we? We found. We should mix in smaller coins so it looks bigger.
I agree. I agree. Let's add some silver in there.
Exactly. So we'll do 100 gold and 120 silver.
I like your mindset, Drew. I think that's very smart.
As they're doing this, I'm like taking the prisoners and like scrutinizing them and like putting one in front of the other and then like checking it out and like arranging one's hair and stuff. I'm like setting them in a really attractive row.
I meant 90 gold and 120 silver, by the way.
Did we check their pockets?
Yes. We did not go over loot from the
call.
raiders. We should have discussed that. On the ships, you found quite a bit, actually.
Nice.
There was a lot of food, lots of food and water supplies.
Nice.
And... Oh, wait a minute. Actually, the lead ship got away. The ship with all the gold got away.
Yeah.
So you found food and water. And a total of, I want to say, 150 gold, 600 silver, and 1,000 copper on the other guys.
Oh, nice.
Okay. How about we like straight up give this? I guess 600 silver might look like a lot of silver. Dragon might not like it. I don't know. How do you feel? We could give out all the silver, to be honest.
Well, we should certainly give him all the copper.
Do you think he won't be like upset that we're giving a ton of copper?
I kind of recall our meeting with Brimstone. Was there any copper in that pile?
Yeah, there's gold, silver, copper, gems, all sorts of
Yeah,
things.
he just wants a bigger pile. So let's give him all the copper and all the silver,
Okay.
and let's keep a little bit of gold for ourselves.
So we're giving him 1,000 copper, 720 silver,
Yeah.
and how much gold?
So if we're giving him 720 silver, that means we had 120 gold originally. So the question is how much of the 150 we want to give him?
Let's just give him the 120 gold.
120, and then we'll keep 130 for ourselves, ish.
Okay.
Okay. These supplies are carried in large sacks by the townsfolk. You enter the cave. It's the winding lava tube that you've seen before, wet with water dripping through it. You notice that there's a few stalagmites and stalactites, but not a lot. as you walk up and into the heart of the chamber. What are you using as a light source? Torches? Lanterns?
Don't we have a
Torch.
light spell?
Do we have a light spell?
I have one, but I only have one spell left for the day. So if somebody wants
Do we have
healed,
the
either that or
Do we have the apprentice with us?
Yes.
Doesn't she have a light spell?
Yes, we had forgotten about her.
Yeah.
She says a word quietly to herself, and the staff lights up.
Wait, were we okay with showing her the dragon? I might not have wanted to bring her here so quickly.
I think with all the elections and
Yeah.
talking about that stuff, she knows about the dragon. There's no way to hide the fact
Okay,
that
I kind of gauge her reaction. What does she think? We've discussed this somewhere in between. What
Right.
does she think of sacrificing people to dragons?
She is awed by the dragon's power. Dragons are fearsome, mighty beasts. Sacrificing people to dragons is certainly a terrible and horrible thing. But she's more interested in the clues that this dragon could lead to finding her former master.
I agree
Mhm.
with her.
I assure her that we are just sacrificing those enemies that attacked us.
They killed our lady children.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard the election talk. You're just sacrificing them for now. Probably later you'll be sacrificing other people too.
We'll
Not
see
if I can help it.
Whatever it takes to find my old master.
When
Mistress.
she casts the light spell, could I try to understand what she's saying and maybe use my reading lips proficiency?
Ooh. Yes, give me a proficiency check for read lips.
So I add the check on top of d20.
Yes, you do.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Tell me the secret word, Neil. I am
Parenthal.
Per...
Parenthal.
Sure. Okay, I remember that. That's
Okay.
it. Should we announce our venue, our coming?
Well, Maribel, I can see that you are just brimming besides yourself. Maybe you should do the honors to Brimstone.
I would indeed be honored. I lead the way. I take the rope or the chain of the first prisoner, and I walk in and I announce ourselves and say, I bow to the floor, and I say, with deepest humility, we beg the mercy and audience of Brimstone the Fire Incarnate, so that we may bring gifts.
Where have you been? It has been too long since I fed.
It has indeed, and we beg your mercy. We hope these gifts shall be pleasing to you until we may bring more.
Have you brought an unspoiled maiden for me?
Are any of them maidens?
No.
We have brought live meat as you requested, but unfortunately I do not believe any of them are maidens.
And we brought lots of gold.
We have brought gold indeed to assuage the dishonor that we have done by failing to bring exactly the victuals that you so desire.
Present me with your offerings.
I
little
shove
one.
them forward excitedly, and I motion them to give the gold.
Okay, we take the sacks of money and we just start pouring it on the ground.
1,000 copper, 600 silver, plus 120 silver, plus 120 gold. And I kind of have Gloppy next to me, and I'm like, "Would you like this one too?"
This one is powerful kobold.
You have found my former servant.
Gloppy steps forward and goes, starts jabbering in kobold. The dragon replies in kobold to something. We're not sure what he's saying, but it sounds terrifying. And Gloppy just pales. The dragon reaches out a claw and picks him up and just like places him in his mouth and swallows without chewing.
Ugh.
Maribel, how do you feel when cute, adorable, lovable Gloppy is consumed by Brimstone the Fire Incarnate?
At first I'm like, no, and then as he gets swallowed, I'm like, no, yay! And then I'm like, hooray! Oh.
The same will happen to you if you fail me again. I want a maiden within the next fortnight.
It's just very sexist. I don't
Fortnite?
think, but I think
Fortnite.
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Bring me the other offerings. I will feast tonight.
He reaches out, grabs the other prisoners with his claws, and just drags them screaming back towards where he is. With his tail, the end of it wraps around and shuffles the coins and just draws them into his large heap. Then Brimstone actually gets up all the way and kind of like shifts, like readjusts himself on his pile of treasure, and you see it is a large pile of coins. And then plops himself back down, digs a little pit, drags some people, and just covers them with coins up to their necks.
to save for later.
Yeah.
Did we notice anything about the pile of coins he was sitting on?
A lot of gold, a lot of silver, a lot of copper, a few platinum. You notice there's some gems in there. There's also some like marble statues kind of stuck up against the back of the wall that you couldn't see before because you didn't have enough light, but this staff sheds quite a bit of light. And there's a few other things that you can't quite make out, but there's objects lying within the stack of coins.
Did he keep the slaves from last time, or were they eaten?
Oh, no, they're gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Once all this is done, he looks back towards you guys and says,
More. I want more.
I nod and bow and walk and back away, and I say, "Of course, honorable Brimstone the Fire Incarnate. We are but your humble servants. We go immediately." And I walk out.
2 weeks, or the entire island will burn.
As I get to the mouth of the cave, I'm like, "Whew. Oh, so what are we gonna do about this whole maidens thing?"
Bring
I
him
guess
some maidens.
We could go for a little righty on our enemies that are now down in forces and grab their maidens.
I must say that we're far away from the cave by the time I'm saying this.
right.
Though I am a devoted and humble servant of Brimstone the Fire Incarnate, I find his insistence on the gender of his meal quite off-putting and somewhat disheartening to my exploits as his servant, and as such I must confess I have begun to wonder if there is not some way we might find ourselves out from underneath his oppressive rule.
How about
I'm glad you've seen the light, Maribel, and this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. We captured 2 more ships, and in 2 weeks, I'm sure we can shuffle the entire population of the island off.
I don't think shuffling the population off is a good idea. We have an alliance with mermaids. We have an alliance with kobolds. We have a city we can go hack into for some resources and some people. I feel like we're in a really good place right now. We're stacking gold. We're renewing our town with food and water. Since the storm, nothing has looked better in my opinion.
the gold is all gone, and the dragon will continue to ask for more and more, and
What are
continue
you
to
talking
threaten
about?
us with imminent and utter destruction.
We have more gold now.
It's never enough. Just look at how he treated his old ally.
He failed him. We won't fail him.
We
But
already have failed.
How much will... Yes, you just said if we fail him again, so he considers this a failure.
Just find a maiden, a proper maiden. Let's give him a bunch of maiden and maids and men. I'd say let's go for a ratio of 50-50 because I feel like it's fair.
I worry if we were to desert the island completely that Brimstone, who can fly, may come looking for us.
I agree.
Though I cannot think of any way to combat such a near deity. I wonder if we might somehow contain him.
You guys are having this chat while you walk back to town. It's a long walk. By the time you get back, night has already fallen. But the townsfolk that are there say that in your absence, some of the mermen showed up. Some of the mermaids showed up and kind of beached themselves on the shore and tried to get the attention, but no communication was possible. And they left.
I assume by this time the kobolds have all gone too.
Yes, the kobolds are gone.
Okay, then I'll make sure to be ready to comprehend the languages tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Let's make sure our new slaves are well lodged and fed.
All of your slaves are put together in a large group. For the record, let's see, you have 20, 40, you have 67 slaves.
Are any of them female?
No, these are all men. These are all rowing men.
What a shame.
Unfortunate. So 67 slaves and 144 people in town.
Okay. And Bruno, do we have the count of money we have right now for the town?
Yes, we withheld
Leftover.
from the pirate amount 138, and from the that's it. Yes.
And we didn't have some when I felt like we had like a bunch of gold that we made when in our last adventure that you had counted.
Oh yes, we split those about 25 gold apiece, approximately.
Didn't we make like a pile for the dragon and a pile for the village and a pile for us?
Right, but we spent 325 of it on supplies, if you remember that.
So how much do we have left?
From the trading, 0, other than our personal money, which is about 25 each. And then from the pirates, we have a pile of 138.
Okay, so we have 138 gold left over for the town. Of town's money.
Okay. Do you guys settle down to sleep that night? Is there anything else you'd like to do before you conk out?
I think I have one more spell, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast that.
On
I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on myself.
all right.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Oh.
Now I'm at 18 hit points.
The next morning dawns. Your
I
slaves
will
are all...
take comprehend languages.
There are mermen waiting for you on shore.
I go there and reach out my hand.
One of them has her hand reached out to you. touches with you.
Ooh, ask her if she's a maiden.
I thought you didn't want to feed the dragon.
I don't speak mermaid. Just listen.
She reaches out and touches you, and as the magic flows between the two of you, she says, the elders bid me bring you news. We have found more of these black domes.
Oh, considering this is the thing that our mage apprentice, what was her name again?
Saffron?
Yeah.
Saffron. Well, I make sure Saffron is here.
Yes. The woman bends down and draws a little map of the island in the sand and marks the spot of the current hemisphere, which is it's marked on the map right now. I'll point it out to you guys. It's this thingy. And then she makes 4 more dots around the map.
All around us?
In the shape of like a pentagram kind of thing.
And she says to you again, we have searched far and wide, and yet only these are the ones we have found. There was another tribe of mermaids that had been swept over here as well. We've joined with theirs. What do these 5 things mean?
And then I motion like,
Yes, there's some association with crabs. Where these are, more crabs lay. Their numbers have been increasing as of late. I don't know if it's breeding season for them or if it's just more are coming.
I point to my sword and I'm like,
We need more weapons, yes. If you have more for us, please. We're making what we can, but tools are limited.
I turn to the city. I'm like, how about we give them a couple more swords for the fighting? We've been having a little crabman infestation lately, and they've been defending us from underneath the sea. I feel like arming them is to our advantage, as we are in an alliance with them. We need to deal with this crabman issue as soon as we've dealt with this maiden issue.
They will listen to whatever you say.
Yeah. So wait, let me see. I had I guess let's give them like 5 broadswords and 5 battle axes. I look to Maribel. I'm like,
As you try and offer the swords, she says, "No, those weapons will not do. We need thrusting weapons, and the water swinging side to side is
battle axes? No.
stabby, human, elf,
Do
whatever
we
you
have
are."
Do we have any stabbing supplies, people? I feel like we did. Neil, do we have any in town that you know of?
If it's not on your sheets, it is not around. There's no extra weapons hidden in the
I
town.
remember we had like, I know in my list of equipment there's a there was two stone spears that I do have on my character sheet from looting previously. So can I give that?
Sure. They will take the stone spears. Please
So
remove them from the sheet.
Yeah, I'll remove the 2 stone spears. I also have a bronze dagger to give out. I'll give the bronze dagger.
They would take the dagger and say, "Yes, more bronzed weapons if you can, please. We've done our best to combat the crabmen."
I'm trying to see what else I have on my character sheet. I asked if the other people from our around me know if they have any more arrows and spearheads, furs, bows. Oh, we have 4 more daggers from the Sauha Gwyn that we had looted. So let's give them that.
Okay. They take those as well.
4 daggers. Let's keep the nets because they were really, really good. I'll hand them two more spears that I see on my sheet, which I will also remove. Sorry, because I split them as we looted it. So that's
Sure.
the Sagwin spears. Let's keep the crossbows. Let's see if we have anything else that they might like. I don't think so. We have slave rowers.
Okay.
I guess that will be it for today.
She says to you, "Thank you for these gifts. It would be so much easier if you could speak with us. Is that beyond your abilities still?"
Hmm. I and I point to the sun.
Yes, the gods will bless us one day.
Can I try to repeat like words that she's saying as if I was trying to?
No, you magically understand what she's saying. It's
How could I go about learning mermaid? Like, could I read a book? How
if
do
there was a
people
book
learn?
on mermaid, yeah.
Yeah. How do people go about learning languages from other cultures? I guess they just.
Same way you do in the real world. You just got to hang out with them and
Hmm.
talk with them a lot, and it can be
Hmm.
difficult. Usually, you need to like have someone one-on-one with you. Just walking around isn't usually enough.
Then I say.
What?
Eh.
One day. And then she slips beneath the waves and disappears.
Well, hopefully that will have helped them out. I think at some point we will need to rally with them and fight those crabmen. But first, I guess let's deal with the issue at hand of finding a maiden within 2 weeks, and then I guess we can continue our quest for the book, or maybe try to fight the crabmen to find out more about those dark holes.
Okay. What would you guys like to do?
Saffron, what do you make of this? We've just learned that there are 4 more of these black circles than we originally thought.
If only I had the book. I don't really know. These black circles are portals, right?
I would think they are. They made the mermaids move locations from one part of the sea to the other. And they seem to be spawning crabmen for some reason.
Maybe we could go through them. Have you tried going through?
Nope. I feel like it would be a risky adventure, but that we could. But we do need to find a maiden to give to the dragon first. And maybe we could try to ask the dragon, tell him about our issue with the black holes. Tell him it's hindering our capacity to feed him. And maybe he'll give us information so that we can better feed him.
Permission for what?
If we
information.
we bring him a bunch of maidens and some men, so that it's a 50-50 ratio and it's equal. And then we tell them about our issue with the black holes. Maybe he will know more about it, so that we can feed him better in the future.
I don't know, Albert. That sounds like we're sacrificing a lot of lives for nothing.
Well, I mean,
Because dragons do not swim.
I think dragons are very, very wise. Wiser than you, and wiser than me. And that's a lot to say.
That is a lot to say. I don't believe it.
I mean, do you want the island to be destroyed? We do need to feed him at least one maiden. I suggest we go raid our enemies while they're low on supplies and men. Let's get some women and men.
Okay.
What do you think, Maribel?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think we should go get a 50-50 ratio of men and women to feed to the dragon.
I mean, that's probably that's probably a good idea. I find myself longing for the adventure that was unfettered by the need to procure certain gendered people as food. I prefer more honorable fighting pursuits, I've come to find.
Don't you think women are as worthy to be fed to our Lord incarnate as
Of
much
course.
as men? I feel like he just wants an equality in feeding ratio. It would be a dishonor to the female genre to not feed them to our Lord incarnate.
I am a dishonored servant, and I should not have such desires, but as I said, I simply just I feel remiss for the battles that could be. It must be that the opportunity to fight in the arena has tempted me away from my true responsibilities, and perhaps I should be more devoted.
When Maribel talks about that arena, I kind of recall to myself of Outlast and Coxport, which are those qualifying as cities? Do they have enough people? Which one seems better defended?
Outlast seems better defended. Neither of them qualify as cities, they're both towns. Outlast is by far better defended. Everything's made of stone, and every man, woman, and child is armed.
Do I get? Let's see. About how much population would I say is in Outlast? A rough guess.
5,000, 6,000, somewhere around there.
They can take on a dragon. Question mark.
That is your judgment to make.
All right. Well, we have 2 weeks to move everyone to Outlast.
I think that is a ridiculous idea.
Why?
Because the dragon will hunt us down.
But
And we won't have a city there. Everything we've built will be burned to ashes. We're gonna lose our city. We're gonna lose our land. We're gonna lose our alliances with everybody. And we're gonna lose ourselves. I say, trying to be inspiring.
But Albert, don't you think you've already lost yourself? Look at yourself. You're talking about sacrificing maidens, innocent maidens, to the dragon.
If you're for
How could you live with yourself?
I've been living very well, thank you very much, for over 150 years, and I have had my fair share of maidens. And not men, actually.
Or maybe, just maybe, we might be able to go through these portals. That should be far away from the dragon.
You know what we're gonna lose? There won't be a mayor anymore. There won't be a town. We won't have ships
Maybe
anymore.
these portals are a blessing in disguise. We should walk through them and see what's on the other side.
Maybe we should start by getting a maiden to make sure our city is safe, and then
We have 2 weeks. Plenty of time.
Well, so far, we haven't been so fast, my friend. I feel like we should be safer than sorry.
There could be a maiden waiting right through this portal.
No, this portal could change the course of time. This portal
What?
make us instantly lose time. We don't know. We haven't been there.
I ask Algrind. You are well read, Algrind. Is there any historical precedent as to what we should do in a situation such as this?
Although I've never heard of a portal changing the course of time, I'm not an expert on this.
What do you think we should do?
If you ask me, it wouldn't hurt to just go find a maiden for Brimstone, tide him over. You know, I'm just weighing the consequences
Look,
here.
if worst comes to worst, we have, and kind of conspiring, I look around, make sure Saffron isn't around to hear this.
Oh, she's totally listening on the conversation right now.
Oh, well, worst comes to worst. We have... Never mind, I don't even say it. Rewind. I didn't realize she was here.
She's like, nearby, clearly leaning over, listening to what you guys are saying.
But I kind of pick up on what he's saying. Actually, that's a good point.
Anyways,
All right.
what we should do, while we have Saffron here, we should investigate these portals.
I disagree. I think we better be safe, find a maiden, and then investigate the portal.
The portals have maidens inside.
No, you don't know that. We haven't read a book about it. Books are true.
There's one that's I recall the last time we went to the portal. It's just a few miles offshore, right? So it takes like an hour to row there.
Yeah.
It takes 1 hour. You can't spare 1 hour of time not looking for maidens. I didn't know you were that desperate, Albert.
Better safe than sorry. I respect dragons more than I respect portals. I've seen this dragon. This portal could be nothing. This portal could be your death as soon as you crush it, for all we know.
I'm just like brooding and feeling moody because I feel like disappointed in myself for not being a good brimstone servant, but I'm also feeling like the call of the adventuring life, and I feel bad about that. I don't know what to do.
How about we put this to a vote?
Well, I don't see why. Think of all the maidens that lie right beyond the portal.
I agree. It's probably flush with maidens, and
That's
always
ridiculous. That is a ridiculous statement. As you say it, I'm actually scared of doing sarcasm now, since people don't seem to understand it or be smart enough to accept it because they think there's gonna be maidens behind a freaking portal.
You know what? I just remembered I did read a book about this the other couple years ago, and about how you can always find like moss on the north side of a tree. You can always find maidens on like the north side of a portal.
Right, you
Just
are.
a little tidbit.
I remember.
right?
I've heard something along that tale too.
Some people
When
think
we
it's an
see
old
all of
wives'
these
tale.
portals lined up, it's clear then that we should enter the northern one.
Yes. Only if we want the most maidens,
This, I suppose, does sound reasonable. How are we going
Read
to
in a book.
get
Books
from
don't
the
lie.
portal to Brimstone, though?
Same way we do everything else. We knock them out, and then we drag them through the portal.
But then they won't be able to breathe underwater.
I have spells that can make them breathe.
We can't make enough people breathe to do this.
We can. I can.
No, you can breathe.
Every
like-
cast I do hits 4 people. So all I have to do is cast it twice.
And we won't have enough time for those people to survive and get to the dragon.
I remember the last time we went down there, it
It's like
only
4
took
minutes.
about a minute. Remind me if I'm right, Neil. Like
A little longer than that to dive down, like 2 or 3
And
minutes.
2 or 3 minutes. Okay.
And we have like 4 minutes of breathing. If I know how I cast my spells, and that's about the duration it lasts. We won't have time to go down, come back up, get maidens, fight them off down there. Like, this is a very risky situation. I feel like we should prioritize our village at this point. What do you think, Mayor? Trumpet?
You rope the mare into this?
Yeah.
I get really annoyed at that point, but I don't say anything.
I don't understand this obsession with portals. I'm sorry. I don't understand this obsession with portals. For the time being, they are of no consequence. Sure, they may be important somehow, but we must deal with the clear and present danger of the dragon.
I agree.
I kind of, I'm the mayor. And I wonder what the definition of a maiden is. Just a female, right?
I think he wants a virgin, ideally. Well dressed, well groomed.
I think about the mayor. I've been in town for a while. Do I think she fits the criteria?
She is female. She once upon a time had a husband who did pass away. I think that's all the information you would
Okay.
really know about
Do
her
we
personal
have-
life.
Do we have any young, like, maybe not like children women, but like
Young women in town?
left over? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Actually, your town is
curious.
mostly female. It's overwhelmingly female at this point.
I get very uncomfortable with this conversation increasingly, and I'm starting to like doubt my devotion to Brimstone the Fire Incarnate the more we talk about this. And so I'm like, I agree with Bruno's original idea. We should take the entire town to a city that can defend them and deal with this later.
So you mean we will completely forgo our village, not
So we
be
bring-
mayor?
Look around you. This
Warrior.
village is ruined.
It's not. What do you think, Mayor Trumpet?
No, don't bring the mayor into this. I kind of show her around.
she's
Sure,
the
we've
mayor of
worked
the
on it a
village.
bit.
We cannot just abandon our homes. We've lived here generations upon generations. We have already committed to this dragon. If we should switch back and forth all the time, we're going to get ourselves killed. You pick
We
a
did
course
not
of
commit.
action
We
and you
committed
stay
long
true
enough
to it.
to make sure the dragon did not attack us. And now that he's given us a deadline of 2 weeks, it seems like that is a perfect amount of time for us to move the entire village.
I just-
Don't you think you should follow the will of your people? Maybe we should hold a town hall meeting.
Maybe we should. That sounds like a fabulous idea, Bruno. The first smart thing you've said all day.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. A town hall meeting is organized. The whole town arrives back out front, kind of the big central area before the temple. And Bruno, this is the next day. So everyone, no HP gained because you all fought that day. But it's the next day, and Bruno, go ahead and make whatever statements you'd like as you lead the town hall meeting.
Yesterday we went to feed, as usual, Brimstone, the Fire Incarnate, and I'm afraid to inform you, my friends, that he said we had failed. In 2 weeks, he has threatened to devour this entire island. So I think that it is the proper course of action to take these 2 weeks and evacuate the entire island over to the safety of Outlast. We now have more ships that we fought the raiders off, but I'm afraid that we cannot fight the dragon. But perhaps combined with Outlast's might, we might be able to survive.
Ahem. Except if we fade the dragon one fair maiden.
I kind of nudge Albert. Certainly, we've had our moral dilemmas of whether or not we can actually continue to feed innocent lives to this dragon in order to
Enemy
save
lives.
ourselves. But I know that you are all noble people, and that you will not delve into this depravity of sacrificing others so that we may survive.
Sacrificing the men who killed our lady children and child.
One woman speaks up from the back of the crowd and says, "Didn't we just hold a meeting yesterday or the day before and all agreed that we want to be pirates? Are we having another town hall meeting and completely changing our course again? And within 48 hours?
How can we be pirates when we must spend all our time finding maidens to feed a dragon? This is my quandary.
It is bad business, you see. We can do both. It is bad business, though, for pirates to raid everyone and then give all of the loot to the dragon. Don't you understand? That is not the pirating life that we should be living.
We have kept some. We have 138 gold for the town's fund. That's the richest.
That's it? You only made us 138 gold?
Oh, wait till you hear about how much gold we gave to the dragon. We have given upwards of, quick calculations, somewhere around 300, 400, 500 gold. So the dragon
No,
imposes
we
a
didn't.
hefty 80% tax or whatnot. That is not acceptable.
And
That
what
is-
belongs to us?
In addition,
Everything!
yes,
The dragon is taking it away from us. It is ours by right. We are warriors and marauders. We should not be filling such a beast's belly with other human flesh and with our gold.
You are going nuts! A dragon is the most powerful being in the entire world. Don't you think he can just crush us all and the town we're moving to with one single fire breath? He can! That's this. I'm done with sarcasm. I'll give you the spoiler. He can!
friends, I've been to Outlast. They have stone buildings. The dragons breathe fire, which cannot, which the stone will stop.
Neil, do I have tales of dragons burning entire cities, even those made out of stone?
Dragons will burn whatever they want.
Dragons will burn whatever they want. The stories say it. I read the books.
What are you going to believe, this one or or someone who's been through a lot of tales? Have you tried to burn stone with fire before? I, my friends, have, and I don't believe that can be
You're
done.
clearly not a dragon. I am 150 years old, and I know how dragons work.
I believe this is the first dragon you've ever seen, Albert.
That is correct, but I've read about them. Do you even know how to read?
Mayor
Fanciful
Trumpet steps up on the stage now and says, "People, people, let us be clear. We have a difficult path ahead of us one way or the other. We clearly have a lot of thinking we need to do. Perhaps we could satiate the beast, our lord, for the time being, and buy us time to make a good decision.
That's
No
what we
decision is
just
made in
did.
haste."
That is what we just did, and we bought ourselves 2 weeks, and that is the most we can buy.
Well, then
I'm
let's,
sorry, I meant 1 week and 6 days.
let's think about this, all right? Maybe the 80% tax isn't too bad. How much can you make? Huh? There's a lot of villages out there. The Red Coast is under no one's flag.
We don't necessarily need gold to survive anyway. We got food and water yesterday. That's great. We've got crops, we've got sheep. We've got kobolds. We've got mermaids. We're
And
gonna have
soon we will
crab
have
meat
none
for
of it
days.
when the dragon devours us all.
He won't, because we're gonna feed him a maiden. And a man.
Have you seen how... Well, for those of you who have not seen how big this dragon is, imagine the small speck that one maiden is, and imagine the dragon's voracious appetite. Why, just yesterday, I saw him pick up I saw him pick up several men with one claw, and he just tossed him right into his mouth like it was nothing. It is clear that we can not satisfy this dragon forever.
Someone shouts, "It was a single kobold!"
It was a tiny kobold. It was Gloppy, ex-king. Let's how about we just go get a little maiden, then we take the time to think about it. I agree with Mayor Trumpet. I feel like we've been getting along really well lately.
Let's put this measure to a vote.
Maribel just looks like confused and kind of is poking things with her halberd. But she nods.
Wouldn't Mayor Trumpet represent the whole city?
She does. I mean, she is the mayor. She makes the final decision on all things town related. But a town hall was what was called for. Town hall meeting. Have you all have made your case? She looks out across the people and goes, "Well, I think the prudent course of action is to be careful. We can always change our mind and leave, but once we leave the island, we cannot come back. Is it really too much for you to ask of you to find a single woman to sacrifice? I mean, how many? We've fed the dragon many people already. What is one more?
I look.
And what difference does it make if it's a maiden or a woman or a man or a boy?
I feel like everybody is worth a single unit of person in life. A human life is a human life. And right now we've been feeding a lot of men. It seems uneven. We should feed a lot of women.
I say we stay. I say we continue this life that we've made for us here. And I think that about wraps us up for this week, unless you guys have any final words.
No.
No. All right. Next week, we will be short a Jen. You are off somewhere fancy.
Yeah, I'm going to Katowice in Poland.
Nice. To what end? What is your position there?
Rainbow Six International Product Manager. Yep.
Very nice.
We will. I need to confirm what I cannot say though. Let's close it out for somebody else while I
Okay.
check what I can say.
Well, first, I want to let people know that we actually are welcoming a new show on Misscliks. Yay! And that's starting on this Sunday, so very, very soon. It is going to be Minok Mysteries, which has been announced on Twitter. It's the Star Wars Edge of the Empire role-playing game. It's a completely new cast, including some faces, though, that you've seen in other shows. Game Face Killa from Table Flip and Board Games is going to be there, and a couple of the other cast members have been guests on other shows. The head showmaster is Sylvanora on Twitter, Sylvanora, but you're also going to see some retweets on the Misscliks Twitter of their tweets, and they've got some really cool character art already, and they've got this really cool plan where they're going to play a couple different systems, and then whichever one you guys like best and they like best, they're going to make a longer campaign out of that. And it's going to be our first weekend show, so very exciting. And I would recommend, if you want to check that out, to follow Misscliks on Twitter, so you'll be reminded when our shows are going to happen, and you can see the cool arts and promos and things. And then also follow here on Misscliks. That'll notify you, if you want, when we go live. Because now we have shows quite a few times during the week, so be sure to check out the schedule that's below. It's also on misscliks.com. It's also on our offline image, so stay in touch with that. And as always, if you have a show idea, please feel free to pitch it to us. You can do that through our website, but I've been hearing reports that it's broken, so you can always email us as well at themisscliks@gmail.com. There you go.
Cool.
I got all my info ready. I don't know if I want to just wrap this up.
1,030 experience for everyone.
Ooh, 1,030.
Yes. Every time you feed the dragon, you get extra experience.
Ooh,
Oh.
Ooh.
I didn't know
I
that.
like
Oh man.
The
This
party
is-
instantly changes their course of action.
Yeah.
This is only the second time you fed the party, though, so I hadn't had a chance to tell you it without spoiling anything.
Hey Neil.
Yeah?
What's my next level at? Do you know?
Double
My
whatever
last-
your last was.
Oh, okay. Jeez, it's intense.
If
Yeah.
you feed him again, I'll level up. Maybe a maiden.
I can go next.
Sure.
Are you all done, Jen?
No, because I can say what I'm going to do there. I checked if it was announced.
Okay, go.
So basically, in Katowice at IEM, we're going to be kicking off our Rainbow Six Pro League. So we're going to have some of our pro-European teams who qualified through the Gophers, the ESL Gophers. So we're going to have the PC European teams show up and fight it off to inaugurate the start of our official Rainbow Six Pro League. So those are the pro teams that we're going to be having playing Rainbow Six for the upcoming season. And we're going to be having a live stream on March 4th. So you should tune into that. It will be on twitch.tv/Rainbow Six. And I have no idea if I will appear or not in it, but you never know. I might not.
Maribel.
I am going to be the host for the Heroes North American Regional Championship this weekend. It's going to take place in Burbank. There's no live audience. It's just people tuning in via the stream. So I'd love it if you'd come and hang out with me. Word is that it's going to be a little bit different than the Heroes work I've done before. It's going to be a little more off the cuff, a little more fun and casual and relaxed, more like a TV show type experience I am hearing. So I hope that you'll come and see a different side of my hosting that I don't normally get to do. I'm really excited about that. And as such, I won't be on Twitch Weekly this week on Friday, but I hope you enjoyed that as usual. And just remember, no Eye on the Storm this weekend because Gillyweed, my co-host for Eye on the Storm, will also be at the Heroes Championship on Thursday night. So I hope you'll tune into that. I think it's twitch.tv/BlizzHeroes. That'll be on.
Okay. I'll go next.
Yeah.
I will be back to normal streaming tomorrow. I've just been doing a lot of paperwork and office work yesterday and today. So normal stream starts like noon Pacific time tomorrow on twitch.tv/Koibu. We're going to be doing world building. We'll be doing Misscliks campaign planning. So if you want some sneak peeks at the future, what it might hold, swing on by sometime tomorrow. And we'll be doing some more module building. We're in the process of building a set of campaigns to publicly release that people can pick up and use with whatever system that they desire. So if you want to help out, name some things, pitch ideas or whatnot, swing on by for any of that stuff. We'll have Hardcore Heroes on Saturday, and no Dicing with Death for the next 3 weeks because Ryan is in Macau. But that's it for me.
Okay, I'll go next. There's a very slight chance that I'll be going out of town to do something awesome this weekend, but it's not confirmed, so I'm not going to say what it is. So you guys can follow me on Twitter to find out if that happens or not, which my Twitter is @JessBrohard. And if that doesn't happen, then I still sometimes tweet funny things, I like to think. So follow me anyway. All right, Trump.
I can say absolutely nothing about what's coming up, but it's pretty exciting. That's all.
Fantastic.
Wow. That's exciting.
All right. Well, we will see you guys all same time next week, except for Jen, who won't be here.
See you then, guys. Don't
Bye,
forget to follow Misscliks. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.